about the company, our products, and then today we get to launch the lemon lime flavor. So let's make sure is it working?
Let me just make sure everything's working.
Perfect. So as we've been talking about probably for the last few months, as everybody knows, with pandemic times and supply chain issues, etc., we're just excited to have launched our lemon lime flavor. We had it in the works for a long time. We're just finalizing taste and just making sure it was ready to go. We want it to be perfect, and so we spent a little bit extra time on that, and so we just got it in earlier this month, and so we're excited to finally be able to talk about it on Streamify, as well as some other things as we get into the fall. We started to do a little bit more on the email side, where we talk about other ways that you can potentially use Tiiga, so we're going to talk about that today. But first off, we'd like to start off by asking, where people are
from,
going to be from, or tuning in from. So shoot those on there. If you're on Facebook Live, if you're on, what else is there? Instagram Live. I got to learn all the lives. If you're on any of those, come on over. That way you can actually get into the platform. You can answer the questions. You can ask questions. If in the meantime you're going to hear our dog going, we just moved back into our apartment in Lincoln, so we're excited to be back at home, but I'll tell you what, there's a lot to look at out here. So first off, let's just get right into it. So let's talk a little bit about the lemon lime flavor. Going to be the same formulas as the other ones, but we wanted to make sure that we had more of a in-between taste. So we noticed with orange mango, orange mango lovers are orange mango lovers, right? If you like mango, you're going for mango. And then the raspberry lemonade's a fantastic taste. But lemon lime is kind of that taste when you think about, I'm thirsty, I'm ready for something that's going to hydrate me, just benefit my body. I think a lot of times people think lemon lime. So we were especially excited about this. I also wanted to go into, on this note, was just packaging. We want to talk about that a little bit? I think that'd be a good place to start. So we had some, we sent some stuff out asking people about packaging, asking about the product in general, and so I wanted to go into opening and then working with the product. So it's going to rip across, but sometimes it'll be hard on that first part. If it is, just a nice pinch at the top, and if you can't, you can always come from the top, and I'll open another one like that. Another one is sometimes the seam will be hard to rip. In this case, it wasn't, right? And so we got a nice opening. So we'll start there. If it is a trouble at the top, there's two ways to do this. So you can actually, and if you guys can see here, you can actually peel from the top this way. And so then you just get a nice kind of filter down, or you can rip this other side as well, and then you have a nice filter down. So it doesn't look pretty, but it gets the job done versus having to cut it. So we know a lot of people like to cut it, which, to be honest, is definitely easier, but this is a great way where if you don't have scissors around you or a knife or anything like that, you can get in and pour it straight in. So we'll get into mixing as well. So we obviously have our Tiiga bottle, which we always recommend, but we have the smaller cap. So we're actually going to be starting to move towards, we just got some of these bad boys in, and this is actually 2 Tiigas at once, which I love because I'm going to consume 2 at once. So you're just going to actually pour 2. So this is 32 ounces. We're also going to come out with this is a 22, but we're going to come out with an 18 as well. So it'll be one side. So just as we pour this, we'll just do 1 packet. So I got 1 full serving here. The wide mouth helps a lot. But we like to shake, as we said before. I just want to kind of go through this. So as you guys see, once you have that little funnel, even if you just pulled it from the top, you can drop it straight in pretty easy. And then that gives us the smaller drinking spout, which we like as well. And we'll be looking at getting the straw version. So we didn't put the question in there, and I don't know if Katie can throw that in there, but how many of you guys like to drink out of the smaller hole or a straw? I think a lot of people like to drink out of a straw, so now that we got that, I would like to know, because as we create bottles, so we know like the smaller mouth, I like to drink out of the smaller mouth, not as much of a straw. So this is just one way to do it, and this one, it just ends up opening fantastic. These are the guys at Tempercraft, so we started partnering with these guys to make our bottles. Really like them. I'm actually in love with the bottle, so this one's mine for you guys.
All right, I just submitted the question, so it should pop up in just a moment for people to answer if they prefer a straw or not.
Right, it's a weird question to ask people. You think it's like something small, but you'd be surprised at the opinions that people have about both. So it's pretty cool. All right, well that leads me to what I want to talk about. One was just trying products, especially with the time period that we're going through over the last year and a half as we've launched. So Katie's going to ask these questions, well, at least one or two of these questions. Well, we noticed we've done a lot of sampling over the last bit of time, and that's why I bring up questions like, do you like a straw or the smaller mouth? Because it's the same with sampling or trying new products in places. And so we've been really interested. We've been fortunate enough in Nebraska to be able to actually sample at grocery stores and at events over the last, since January, right? We've been able to pretty much be at different events in different ways. So I would just like to know your guys' opinion. With the pandemic, I believe the question is, how much of you guys are sampling or shopping online only, shopping in store only, or kind of the combination of the both? And how has that gone with, you don't have to answer that part, but how's that gone with trying new products or thinking about new products? It's a big part for us. We want to provide samples if you haven't tried the product to know more about it and taste it. So we just want to know kind of the ways that you're acquiring to try new products. So I thought I'd bring that up because we've done a lot of sampling, a lot of trying, and asking questions like this, which sound ridiculous, but they really help us, understand the ways that you can utilize the product. So I'll leave that for a little bit. Let me know if anything happens. All right, so we're going to go into uses for Tiiga. So one of the ones we've been talking about lately with people is the blood sugar levels, as well as kind of ways that you can combine Tiiga with other products. And so I got a little bit of orange juice right here. For anybody that doesn't know, and I'll kind of bring it out. So for 8 ounces, so this is 250 mils, 8 ounces, a little bit over, right, is 22 grams of sugar per serving of orange juice. So it's great to spike the blood sugar levels, but some people don't want that benefit from it. So it's high in vitamin C, but it also will shoot that sugar through you. And so what we actually recommend and what we like to do is just take about 4 ounces. So you got about 4 ounces right there. We'll use a smaller bottle. So you can actually get about, depends if you like it a little stronger, a little less strong, you can do 12 to 16 ounces, but we'll fill up a little water.
And what flavor's the best with this?
So I like this with orange mango. You can always do it with, we'll add 8 more ounces. So we'll do like a 12-ounce mix. So this would be super sweet. So if you want something that's a little bit more sweet to go with your Tiiga, so you would have about 8 to 12 ounces. You drop your orange juice in there, and then you just do like an orange mango Tiiga. It was perfect. So Tiiga has the 3 grams of fiber, so that really helps. So now you've gone down to about 11 grams of sugar, plus we have about 5 total in a whole one, so you could go half. But either way, you're gonna have a lot less sugar, so you're gonna be about 14 to 16. So I got into the ones that is gonna take a little bit, so I'll pull up. We'll go down actually, so then I can get it. Boom, and I create my little lever. So I'll do a full one here because I want it extra strong. So shake it up. And what it does, it kind of it allows you to drink more of the water, right, per se, because if you were to have 12 to 16 ounces of just the orange juice, right, you're going to be almost at 40 grams of sugar, which is the equivalent of a Coke, right? So a Coke's about 39 grams of sugar. So anytime you can kind of dissipate that, just to give you an idea. So now you've doubled the amount that you can drink, and you're going to get an extra nice flavor to it. So the flavor, the orange mango, I think, kind of comes out nicely in this. It also gives it a nice texture, obviously. And then it's going to sweeten the Tiiga that you already have in there. So, this is one of my favorites. Almost like an orange. I wouldn't go as far as an orange Julius, but man, it's pretty close. That's one great way to really enjoy it. Another one, oh my goodness, give me a second. That's really good. So, another one, and I don't know, we misplaced this. This is kind of embarrassing, but another one that we're big on is greens and mixing Tiiga with greens. So, most of you know, if you guys do try greens, or if somebody's gonna, partake in greens, a lot of times it's just like pour it in the water, get it down as fast as you can. This is the same as some other products, but especially greens, we found some people that they just kind of plug their nose and get it down. So with the greens, usually they're about 8-ounce servings as well. And so what you can actually do is take raspberry lemonade, orange, I'm gonna be honest, all of them. So I really liked it with orange mango still. Lemon lime would be fantastic with it. And so what you pretty much do is you take your greens, like I said, I don't have it right now, but you would just do the 8-ounce normal serving, but you're gonna make it in a 16-ounce and do a full packet of Tiiga. And it's gonna combine with the greens. It's gonna give you the added fiber benefit of the Tiiga as well as the natural benefits of the Tiiga, but it's also, it's gonna, enhance the taste, so that way you're not trying to just scarf down 8 ounces that you don't enjoy. You're gonna get like 16 that you're really gonna start to crave. I'm gonna be honest, I started doing it a little while ago, and like all I crave is a greens with Tiiga as well. So I have my Tiiga as normal, but man, a greens with Tiiga, it's just a unique taste. You can't duplicate it, and so we always just recommend that. It's an extra way to you get your, your like hydration up, so just a liquid in general that you're able to consume, to that fiber and the natural nutrients from the baobab fruit and Tiiga as well. So, do we have anything on your end? I'm gonna.
No, keep going. Some people are shopping online and some people are shopping in person, so it's about half and half right now.
Oh my goodness, what was that? I had another question on that subject because I wanted to know about
how they're planning to shop in the future. So I'll push that question up.
Push that out because I do want to know. Obviously, with Streamify, this is fantastic, right? We can present the ideas, talk about our company, talk about our products, ways that you can use it, and then like versus just having to research it on the website, kind of know what we're thinking as we're creating this and the ways that we're using it ourselves or other people that we found use it. Another thing that we want to kind of go into and talk about is times that people are using it. So like I said, with the orange juice, it's nice because the blood sugar keeps kind of maintained so you're not spiking. What we've been starting to hear back a lot is the times and when people are using the product. So I use it personally during workouts. Katie uses it before them, but what we found is a lot of people prefer it in that recovery standpoint. So for that hydration, just the natural nutrients, especially after you work out or in between meals. And this is the one where we could not agree more. We drink it pretty much every afternoon, kind of that way to move away from coffee. But like I said, we love to know kind of what people are doing with it and how they're using it, and that seems to be one of the better ones. So that's kind of, that was one of the big things I wanted to kind of let people know and think about is kind of the times of day and when you potentially use it. Give me one sec, this is really good. All right. Lastly, I wanted to go into packaging and sizing. So right now, let's actually bring those up. So you bring up like a 6-pack. So we do the 6-pack as a starter. So if you guys are looking for, you just don't know which flavor you're gonna potentially like, we put all 3 in here. That way you can test them out in the different ways, whether just with water or with some other sort of product. But this is a great way to kind of start out. But we love to get to the point where the 1, 2, or all 3 that you like, and then you stay in that category. So that's why we keep those all in 16. At the same time, we are thinking about, and you guys know, we've found flavoring wise, we don't want to expand to an obscene amount of flavors, but we do want to add one more. I think we've talked about this a little bit, so we don't need to ask the question now, but know that in the near future we will be, we're not going to say like we did with lemon lime, that we will be launching another flavor, but we'll have another flavor. So just keep that in mind. So I'll get you thinking about that.
We'll let them see if they want to. We'll ask some questions for what sort of flavors they'd like to see.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I think it's fun. Yeah, it's kind of crazy when you do tastings and you're sampling how many different flavors people come up with. We'll keep the exotic ones eventually. So for anybody that really wants some jalapenos and pineapples and things like that, those are down the road. We used to make drinks with those flavors, so those will definitely be down the road, but those aren't going to be like the next ones. We'll be doing other types of drinks before we do that. So, excuse me. That's kind of where I'm at right now with this kitty. And then I was going to go a little bit more into Tiiga. If anybody had any questions kind of about, I guess for anybody that's coming in, what the product is, as well as what it can potentially do for you. I guess for anybody that hasn't touched on that. So Tiiga itself is a combination of the baobab fruit, an electrolyte blend, and B vitamins. So the baobab fruit, and we have everything in stick packs, just so everybody knows that it's coming in. Everything's in stick packs. You drop it straight into your water. because the fruit is naturally powdered. And I've showed this before, but I want to do this again. And I'll do a raspberry for this one. So we're going to pull across. So the uniqueness of our product is in the fruit itself. Obviously our formulation, we want to make it taste good, also the natural benefits, the overall benefits. But the most unique part is the powder. And so we'll pour it right into here. So as you guys know, it looks like there's a lot, but that's because it's actually fruit. So it is unpasteurized, unprocessed, all natural fruit as the main and core ingredient. And so the baobab fruit, when it ripens on the tree, is literally clumps of powder. So they crack it open, and we're actually going to post a video on the website shortly that shows some of the suppliers that we have in Africa talking about the harvesting of the fruit itself, harvest day, like grabbing the full whole fruits, cracking them open, creating the powder, and then bagging that powder and then shipping it out into the final product, which is the powder itself. And then, like I said, we are about enhancing the baobab fruit. So everything that we're going to do is about taking the baobab fruit, which we think is one of the best fruits in the world, if not the best fruit in the world, and just enhance it with different other core ingredients and benefits.
And we do have a question. Somebody wants to know, what is the most popular flavor?
Great question. So I'd say so far, the two is definitely raspberry lemonade, but that's based on the fact that I think the orange mango people are orange mango people. I'm an orange mango person. So it's a very, like, if you're sampling to somebody, if you were hanging out with 10 people and you gave them a couple different flavors, you said, here's mango, it's going to be 5 and 5. They're going to be like, I want mango, and they're going for mango, and the other 5 are kind of debating on, they're going to go the other way, whatever that is. But with lemon lime coming on, it's pretty much a dead race. So I would say lemon lime is it's just one of those tastes that I think all of us have kind of grown up on, whatever that product was. And man, and our lemon lime is delicious. We got to start getting all the quotes from everybody that's bringing it in. So if anybody's trying it and write and tell us, let us know your thoughts on it. But everybody that we've been talking to that's sent it in, that's tried it recently, is like, wow, this is, and that's what we wanted. We didn't want it to be, super sweet. We didn't want it to be overpowering. We wanted the fruit, and the fruit's naturally citrusy, as we talked about before. But man, when you combine that with that lemon lime flavor, it just pops.
For sure. And we're gonna let us know if you have tried lemon lime yet. I just popped up that question again for those who are just joining us.
I can't get over the orange. I'm telling you guys, if you have an opportunity, just get the orange mango, get your orange juice, and just a ton of water with it. Even another way, now it's a little bit harder. You have to do more, I would say half of the baobab or half of Tiiga and some sparkling water, but you can do that, but you gotta be careful. I don't know if I have any sparkling water left. I have a little bit, so this is kind of fun. So you gotta be careful. You can't just pour it into sparkling water because it will foam up, so you gotta be really slow with it. But you can actually create a nice bubble one. So it'll fizz up a little bit, so it's not good necessarily with sparkling straight up, but a tiny bit. You can try it out. It's a little bit of an experiment.
And we have about 10 minutes left. So Jeff, why don't you talk about what's been going on with our third co-founder, Haruna, back in Africa?
Yeah, yes. So as you guys know, we've talked about, Haruna was with us to start, and then after he got his PhD, he had to make his way back. Literally right away, got his PhD and moved back to Africa, back with his family, which is fantastic. He's back with his family, being a professor. But at the same time, we have a big mission there, and he has a really big mission there alongside us. And so we started small, obviously, because we're starting small, but we have big plans. So right now, at the moment, what he's done so far is he started to create programs, or a program especially, where we're starting to plant trees, but with a stipulation. So what happens is he's finding kids in his local villages that are planting the trees, and then for their service to make sure that the tree survives and grows, a baobab tree, we're going to be providing lunches each month for those students. So it's a big deal. This is the start of it. We had to start somewhere, and we feel really passionate about the fact that we're able to start very specific and coordinated. And it goes a long way, right? Not a lot goes a long way. And so it's just going to continue to grow from our end. on what we're able to do. But we're starting with, I think it was like 10, got about 10 school kids where we're providing lunch every day for them. And they're going to be making sure that those trees continue to grow. So that's just a start. He's also been looking into some other ways to plant more trees to give more back to those communities. At the same time, we've been starting to work with one of our suppliers in South Africa. So Haruna, I guess I should probably bring that up. So Haruna is in Burkina Faso in West Africa, and so he's really focused in that region of West Africa, where eventually we'll be starting to get more of the baobab. But at the time, right now, we get our supply from South Africa, or Zimbabwe, so Southeast Africa. And right now, they're having trouble with school being paid for through the state. And so one of the things that we're starting to do is partner with our supplier and the programs that they have out there to start helping provide for those regions, to provide school for them as assistance in helping them get school supplies or just ability to go to school. But that's why we're doing this, right? So it's not just trying for us to give back in the sense of donating to this or that. The key and the goal with this whole company is that we're actually buying product from these regions, and then because we're buying product, they're selling it, making the money off of that, which is then going to increase their economic value in those regions, providing jobs, providing resources. So our goal is for everybody here who hasn't tried Tiiga or is thinking about trying Tiiga, is to buy Baobab, buy Tiiga, right? Like, this is the beginning of trying to create a sustainable system where Baobab is harvested sustainably, one, two, ethically, and three, paid well, right? And then that's going to be brought back to America where we can reap the benefits of the baobab fruit itself, which have been used in Africa for thousands of years, for anything and everything. And they still are, because some of them have the best microbiome in the world, right? Their overall gut health is some of the best. It provides sustainable energies. They use it anytime they have an upset stomach, anything like that. Baobab is the first line of defense, and it's a natural remedy. And so we're just glad that we're introduced to it in the first place. And we're excited for what we're going to be doing in Zimbabwe, but especially what Haruna is already doing and is going to continue to do there as well. I also forgot, we might as well mention this one. So Haruna is also nice enough to get a bike for a kid who literally got his bike stolen and couldn't ride to school. And so Tiiga, helped out Haruna in getting this kid a new bike, sent us some photos. It was amazing. It's just little stuff, I think in the U.S. we take for granted, but your mode of transportation might be a bicycle, and that's it to get to wherever you got to go. And it's pretty amazing that we have the capability, very simply to help benefit in that way, and give back and make sure that they're, getting their education, which then changes, not just his life, but potentially thousands of people that he meets or knows. So,
Jeff, why don't you go into a little bit more too, now that we're talking about the mission side? Who are these companies that we partner with back in Africa? How do we choose them, and how are they involved with the communities and giving back there?
Yeah, so they're NGO, or they're nonprofits that are not, I wouldn't say from the companies that are buying the product and then being the harvesters or the manufacturers, but they kind of are coinciding with them. And so their entire mission is in these rural regions is to make sure that they're giving back to these communities, providing these educational opportunities for these communities, because otherwise they're not going to have them. And so they kind of coincide, the idea that they're really focused on, harvesting the fruit sustainably and paying for that, and then selling that to, continue that part of the mission. But at the same time, we've been really strategic. I mean, the same with us as with finding those partners, is that understanding that the bigger mission is obviously to give back to those communities wherever you can.
And who are these communities that harvest the baobab? Can you tell us a little bit more about them? I mean, is it mainly men harvesting, or What can you tell us about these
Yeah,
communities?
so the communities, so the harvesting is going to be done mostly by women, and then literally all the manufacturing is going to be done by women. So the harvesting, a lot of it will fall down. That's when you want to do it. So there are some men that will pick up as well, or just help facilitate alongside women. But most of it is done by women and children, and then the women are the ones that process it all. So this is providing a lot of economic value for the women in these regions. To provide for their families. And then, like I said, with the manufacturing and transporting, that's a whole nother subset of people as well that are getting job opportunities, especially during particular parts of the year that otherwise would not have them, excuse me.
All right, we've got just about 5 minutes left. We did a poll, and so acai and watermelon are two of the popular upcoming flavors that people requested. Yeah. Yes, yeah. This time there is quite a bit of requests for watermelon.
Yeah, watermelon's becoming popular. So just so everybody knows, when we first started this, and we'll get to a watermelon flavor, we just got to work on it, make sure it's right. But one of the best things ever is cold pressed watermelon, lime, and then the baobab fruit itself. That was one of our best for anybody that was at our farmers market. So we started this at farmers markets a couple years ago, and our original drink was literally baobab, pineapple, lemon, and ginger, and then our other best one was watermelon and lime. So we will get to that one. I think that the salt will also help. Watermelon salt is always a big one. It's really interesting. That's gotten a lot more. The watermelon's gotten a lot more trendy. The acai is interesting as well, because that's, we figured two super fruits at the same time would be too much. It'd be like an explosion of super fruits for flavor and what is it. So that's really good to know. I'm always amazed at people's tastes, because we tried that and we liked it, and so we didn't decide to do that one first, but that one should not be too hard to bring out. Especially as we're getting to fall, though, I'm surprised by those flavors too. I figured it must be nice weather for everybody still, to where they're not thinking about those fall flavors, those pumpkin spice flavors, the hotter, the apples, things like that. Fall flavors. It's kind of crazy actually to think about.
Yeah. We just got a few more minutes left. So anything else you would like to add?
No, I mean, we covered a lot this week. We didn't want to go too much into the baobab fruit and all that this week. We really want to cover, ways that you can use our product, right? So different ways. So easily, obviously the best way, the way that we designed it, was literally drop it into 16 ounce of water, or I guess 14 to 18 ounce of water, depending on what you prefer. It's best when you shake it, but you can always stir it in as well. It's fantastic with orange juice, especially the orange mango flavor. You could even try the lemon lime. That would give you another zang. I'm gonna be honest, I have not done that one yet, but now that I've talked about it, I'm gonna do it now. And then the other one was the greens is another big one. So anybody that's starting to buy greens or thinking about buying greens, try Tiiga with it, right? It's not gonna be, like I said, our low calorie content, low sugar, but then the high fiber as well, and then the added taste benefit. So it's gonna be a lot easier to stomach your greens, enjoy those. That way, you can buy the most pure greens as well. You don't have to buy ones that are already enhanced with some sort of flavor or whatever. That's another big part. And then lastly, we just want you guys to know that we're all in this together. We want, we're growing baobab. The first key, Tiiga means the tree of life, right? And the baobab fruit is the core ingredient in every product that we're gonna make, and it's for a reason, right? It's so that people in Africa have an opportunity to harvest what's already there, what already grows naturally, make money off of it, right? And then provide a natural resource for us, or a natural benefit for us, that we're all needing, especially now, especially after the last 2 years where, we've probably struggled to get fiber, exercise, all these different things that the pandemic's made harder. That's where we really see this is a nice way to add to your diet, supplement your diet, and utilize.
All right, that concludes today. We are out of time.
All right, thanks everybody for joining us.